A lot of people have been asking me, hey, Armin, what's that 7-figure morning routine you go through? Everyone has their own kind of ways of doing things. And that's okay. So remember, it's like, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but you do want to have some form of structure in the mornings. A mentor of mine taught me that if you don't have structure, you can't create boundaries. And if you can't create boundaries, you burn out. That's a big writer downer. If you don't have structure in your days, you're not going to be able to create boundaries with what you're willing and unwilling to do, who can take your time, who can't, when you're willing to do a meeting and when not. And because if you don't have boundaries, you're going to eventually burn out because you're allowing everybody to take your time. You're allowing your mind and your focus. So I'm going to share with you my morning structure for what I do every morning. As soon as I wake up, believe it or not, I say something out loud to myself. I say, good morning, God. I like to say that. Now, before I used to wake up and just think to myself like, I would say out loud, it's going to be a great day. Recently, I went through a really bad low and it got me closer to myself and spiritually with the creator and whatever you believe. But what I started doing when I woke up, because I woke up with joy, what a great day. What a time to be alive. I get to spend another day. It's exciting. Now, not everyone can do that because you might have a lot of pain going on inside you or a lot of baggage and things you're holding on to. And that's a whole different conversation about, working on the inner game, right? But if you want to have structure and you want to wake up with that kind of mindset that helps you succeed, you got to make sure you wake up with just intention with it's going to be a great day today. So I wake up, I say, good morning, God. And the first thing I do is I read my goal out loud. And I say it, and it's from Think and Grow Rich. I'll be like, by December 31st, 2024, I'm setting up a 3-year goal now. And 3-year goal is going to be a 9-figure goal, $100 million company. For me, that's exciting. I go, man, that's a really good vision. And it's going to stretch my thinking. A mentor of mine told me, if you know how to achieve your goal, then it's not big enough, right? Like you got to set, a vision in your life, a big goal in your life that you don't know how to get there. Therefore, it stretches you to think, hey, how am I going to do that? And that's why you actually leave the comfort zone and you start to learn, you start to grow. But if you just set goals that you can achieve or you know how to, it doesn't grow you because you don't have to stretch yourself to think outside the box. So, I put down a $100 million goal for myself in 3 years. I have mentors who have done hundreds of millions of dollars. So I have the right guidance around me, the right mentors and coaches to help me. And it's also exciting to me. I go, man, $100 million as a 9-figure company, what can I do in this world? There's a lot of things I could do in this world. I could run events with tens of thousands of people. I could spread my message to millions across the world with that kind of money because we can pay for the kind of media buying for that. So I read my goal out loud to myself. I will earn and receive in my possession X amount of dollars, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the intern. In return for this money, I'm going to give the most efficient service of which I'm capable of. I'm going to give the highest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service as an outstanding coach to my clients, teacher to my students, online marketer in my industry, leader to my team, and CEO of my company as I build the #1 coaching company on the planet, as I help my clients build multi-million-dollar coaching businesses that transform lives, as I help them become CEOs that are driven by purpose and in flow state. And I tell myself, and as I help my team become experts in their field, and as I become so irreplaceable, so good at what I do, that people will be lined up around the world to pay me anything just to work. And I believe that I'll have this money in my possession because my faith is so strong. I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. I could see it in my life. I could see the person I become in pursuit of making this money. I see the kind of body I've developed, lean, chiseled, and strong. I can see the kind of jets I'm getting on to fly places, the boat rides I'm taking my teams on. I can see the places I'm traveling to, the beautiful homes I own. I can see the kind of affluential people I'm meeting, the powerful influencers I'm building relationships with. I can see thousands of people in my programs, the millions watching me online. I can see all my content going viral. I can see the streamline and the clarity of my company and how effective we're running and the kind of culture I'm building amongst my team and my clients. And this money is awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I delivered the service in return for it. Now I'm awaiting a plan from infinite intelligence, and I will follow this plan once it is received through my sixth sense. I will achieve what I've conceived because I believe. So I say that out loud to myself every morning. That whole thing, I had it written out at one point, and I would read it on a piece of paper. Eventually, I start to memorize it, and now I can say the whole thing back to back. I have a lot of things I memorize, actually, like goal statements, affirmation things I want to put inside my subconscious mind. This is the real secret. Like if you read Think and Grow Rich on a deep level, I've read 12 different books from Napoleon Hill alone. I don't like to go deep into different books. I like to go deep into one author. Because if you really believe in an author's mindset, every book they write is going to be a different angle of learning how this person thinks. I chose Napoleon Hill, so I read 12 different books this guy wrote, and there's so much depth and different angles to it. And if you really listen to what he's telling you through all of his literature, he's really just telling you that the secret to anything you want in life is to get your mind to believe it. And the only tool we're given to make yourself believe it is through what you say and what you do, right? And so for me, every morning when I wake up, I'm thinking, man, I got to make sure I remind the mind again today, where we're going and why we're doing all this. And the money is just a North Star. Like when I said I could see it in my life and I started to describe my life, that's the motives, the whys, the things that excite me, right? You know, the kind of family I'm going to have and the clients and the culture and the person I'm going to become. So that's the reason why I do it every morning. I say it out loud to myself. Then I wake up and I go into the day and I approach my day in a way where I'm working towards that goal. I was talking to someone yesterday who was going through a low in life and they're like, you know, I have no drive. I don't feel good in my life. I'm like, it's because you have no vision. Because you have no vision, you have no reason to set goals, but you set goals anyways, right? He goes, yeah, I do. I'm like, yeah, because your goals aren't attached to a big vision, right? Like the goals aren't the point. The goals are just stepping stones towards the vision. If you don't have some type of purpose in life, then any goal you set up, like I want to wake up 7 a.m. every morning. Why? Oh, because, you know, that's what high performers do. But okay, so why are you doing it? Oh, I want to be a high performer. Why do you want to be a high performer? I don't know. Isn't that the right thing to do? Like, that's what most people's motivations are. That's their strategy. It's not the right thing to do. No, it's not. Like, the right thing to do is to know what you want in life, not just what you want next year or this month or money, right? Who do you want to become? What do you want to build? What do you want to create in this world that excites you? What boundaries do you want to break? You know, limited beliefs. So I read that every morning and I influence the subconscious mind. Here's the truth. A lot of people won't tell you this. Like, it doesn't matter how much tactics you learn and methods and how hard you work. The highest successful performers in the world are not the ones that work the longest hours, they're not the ones that work the hardest. They're the ones that are in flow state, right? And flow state is like where genius comes out. The only way you access flow state is if you're fully engaged with what you're doing every day. You actually feel blissful joy while you're doing this. So you're doing some work you love and you have a sense of a higher purpose in life. Like something I'm working towards, a big thing, much bigger than just what do I need, my needs to be met in life. That's why they say like the secret of living is giving. Yeah, because when you have a higher purpose in life to give something to the world beyond what you just want to take from the world, it actually excites you. And what you're doing now has a meaning. And meaning creates a lot of money. You know, I'm calling this new term like meaningful money. Is a way to earn money in a way that's meaningful so you feel fulfilled. When you have unmeaningful money, like shallow money or empty money, you feel more poor having more money than you would if you had no money, but you had meaning in life. It's kind of an interesting thing. I work with a lot of millionaires and a lot of different high performers and CEOs, and that's their biggest problem. Like they succeeded, but like they have no life. It's because the motive to make the money was so short-sighted. I just need to pay bills. I just want to get out of debt. I just want to, you know, make a lot of money because I want to prove I'm something or, you know, get recognition from others, a validation. But then it was done. And because they had no purpose in their life, like what am I going to do with who I am? There was no point to the money. And so they're sitting there with all this money and success, but they're unhappy. And then that's the ultimate poverty. It's not having money isn't poverty. Like ultimate poverty is inner poverty when you just don't feel good every day, even though you work hard and you do all these things. So the highest performers are the happiest and they're fully engaged. Does that make sense? So that's why I do the first thing is like, I say, good morning, God, good morning, universe. You know, it's gonna be a great day. And then I read my goal. When I read the goal, I feel excited all over again. It's not like reading your goals and influencing the subconscious mind is like taking a shower. You're never done. Like you should take a shower every day because you start smelling by the end of the day and you got to clean off the dirt. Well, the mind picks up lots of information, a lot of noise throughout the day. So if you don't reset it in the mornings and remind it again, set the target, what's going to happen is eventually if you go too many days in a row and too many weeks in a row and you have a streak of not reading your goals or not influencing the mind, you eventually find yourself in a place where you're drifting and you have no idea how you got there. Like, how am I here? Why am I not working out anymore? Why is my business not working? Why do I feel like I have no control over my life? It's because you don't. Because you have no control over your mind. It's because you haven't been influencing the mind. You haven't been giving direction to it. So guess what is giving direction to your mind? Everything and anyone. People, friends around you giving opinions, drama in life shows up, problems that come out of nowhere, you know, cravings and temptations, things that just make you impulsively behave. And so now you're not the one creating your day-to-day life. Everything else around you is creating your day-to-day life. And that's a shame. That's what we call drifting. And I've done that, by the way. I'm not perfect. I've done that too. But I'm like, damn, how did I get here? Like I'm in a relationship I don't want to be in. I'm living in a place I didn't even choose to really stay here. I didn't think about any of this consciously. My business is going downwards. This was last year for me, like second half of the year. After I made my first few million, I'm like, man, I just kind of lost it. It's because I stopped doing the morning thing that was directing my mind towards a specific place. So I hope that really helps. So the first thing I do is read the goal. Then what I do after is I drink some water, okay? I drink some water right away. Usually that gets me to want to go to the bathroom. And so I go to the bathroom real quick. As I'm doing that, I kind of meditate on the toilet. Like I really do. I sit down, I close my eyes and, you know, whatever bathroom I'm doing, I'm sitting there, I'm just like thinking about the day. I'm excited about it. I start feeling my body. Like I'm just getting present, kind of meditating, right? Like you don't need to sit and like go like this to meditate. You can meditate while you walk. It's just about presence, about stilling the mind. So when I'm meditating, I'm just concentrating my mind on one thing. You can do that while you're doing something or walking. You know that, right? Like I meditate on an audiobook when I walk. Like I zone out. I'm just walking and I zone out. All I hear is the voice of the audiobook. And that's meditation to me because I'm focusing on one thing. Meditation is the practice of mental concentration. That's what meditation is. You know, and a mentor of mine taught me that it actually boosts your intelligence by 23%. 23% you get smarter if you just learn to meditate once a day. That alone. Imagine you got 23% smarter in your business. You probably grow it much faster than everyone else in the industry. So what I do is I go to the washer, I come back, I actually get back in bed, and I pick up a book next to me. I always have a book next to my bed. So if you don't have a book next to your bed and a journal, you're already doing this wrong. Like I grab a book right next to my bed with a pen and I start reading. Okay. And I start reading and I don't read for like 10 minutes unless I have like and every day is a little different. I'll be honest with you. Like a lot of you guys stress yourselves out. Like, I have to read for 30 minutes. I have to meditate. No, you don't have to do anything. Like get your mind out of the gutter, man. Get your mind out of these limits, like spirit and joy and energy, right? Passion doesn't come in boxes. That's a good one. Right? It doesn't come in boxes. Structure is a guideline. It's not meant to stress you out. So the moment you get stressed out from the way you're structuring your life, you're already doing it wrong. You're doing the opposite of what structure is supposed to do for you, which is give you clarity. But you're human. Like I'll wake up sometimes, I'm like, I want to sleep. I was gonna work out, but I want to sleep. I feel tired. And then I wake up 2 hours later, sleeping past my workout, and I'm like, I feel great. And now that I feel great, the day's gonna be great. But if you push yourself through feeling terrible and like unhealthy, and I'm not just saying like feeling uncomfortable, that's different. Feeling bad, like literally like you're deprived of sleep or you're hungry and like, no, keep working. No. That's opposite of productivity. You are hurting your mind, your body. So your performance drops, right? Like basketball players and soccer players, they're going to take care of their bodies for months prior to, you know, games and championships. If they're not going to starve themselves because literally their physical body will perform less good in the field. So it's like, you're doing the opposite of what's going to help you win. You want to win the day. You want to win the business game. You got to treat yourself like an athlete. So sometimes I'll wake up and I'm just like, I want to sleep. And I work out later. Okay. And so what I do is I grab a book and I read. And I just read. Here's the key. I don't read for like X amount of minutes unless, again, I have a meeting and I'm like, I do want to read, but I got to finish in 10 minutes. That's fine. I'm cool with it. I read until I learn something. A lot of people read mindlessly. They do morning routines mindlessly. So I read until I learn something. And I actually usually don't want to stop reading until I learn something, so that I go, oh, that's the point of reading. Like, here's a big thing with morning routines and structures and everything in life, like decisions, they're missing intention. This is really, guys, this is a great training. I don't know about you, but like, I'm like teaching this, I'm like, whoa, I'm in flow right now. Like, I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Decisions are missing intention. That's the problem with people in the world, especially CEOs. You guys make decisions without intention. Like, intention's the actual point of a decision. It's like having a cup, but like nothing in it. Like this is just the decision. The thing inside of it, the substance inside of it is the intention, which is what gives this cup purpose. So when I decide to wake up in the morning, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to read. Imagine I just read mindlessly. What's the point of that? You wasted just 10 minutes and you just read a bunch of things. You didn't even pay attention. You took nothing from it. That's why I have a pen next to me because I like to underline things. I always underline something while I'm reading. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. And so a lot of people, they miss the intention behind why they're doing things. That's why they feel mindless and they're like, nothing's working. Like this applies to everything. Like, why are you doing organic marketing? Why are you doing a sales call? Why, like, what's the intention behind every decision you make in your business and in your life? If you don't know that, you don't know why you're doing things. You don't know what you're doing, right? So that's why we teach people how to think in our coaching program, Scaling Your Clients, before we teach them how to do something. Because you just do something, but never know why, and you don't know how to think and the intention behind it, you can always come back to us for doing it for you. In that case, no, you're not running your business, someone else is. You want to be a CEO, you got to take ownership, radical responsibility of why you're doing things. So I started reading until I learned something. The moment I feel like I've learned something, I'm like, man, that's good. Sometimes I'll take 45 minutes, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. I'm like, well, that was good. I'm like, I get that. And it's funny because I kind of take that learning and I take it throughout the day with myself. I'll share it in a meeting with someone. I'll make a training on it, or I'll just use it in my team. Like, it's always something I'm learning. And it's usually personal development, by the way. I don't like reading marketing or business books in the morning. I like to read personal growth in the morning. And then more of the marketing stuff's like surface level stuff in the afternoons or evening. So after I read and I feel like I've learned something, then I grab my gratitude journal. So I don't really like to journal because like I could take an hour to write like stories and things that happen. But what I do is I combine gratitude journaling and actual like journaling in one thing. So I call it a gratitude journal. What I really do is like, I take this up and I put the date like February 7th, 2022. And then I just go, I'm so grateful for it. And I fill in the blank. And I've done this for 5 years now, actually. I just noticed like 5 or 6 books I have filled, and it's 1 year at a time. I could go back to like 6 years ago, what I was grateful for during those times, which is insane to me because from my teenage years, I can see what I was grateful for. It's a really good habit to pick up. I've never stopped it. Sometimes I'll go months, by the way, without doing it because I'm drifting. And then I go back and I remember reading all the other stuff. I'm like, whoa, and I start again. So again, it's not so militant. If I miss a couple of days, I'll just do a couple in one day to make it up for it. So I'll just write down, I'm so grateful. And usually I talk about yesterday. So it's like a form of gratitude journaling, but also journaling what's happened. So I could actually look back in my journal and see what's happened in my life. It's really cool. First time I hit a 50K month, 100K month, 200K month, 600K month. I have all of those in there. I'm like, I'm so grateful. Last month we did this, and it's like the first of the next month. I'm like, well, that was when it happened. So it's a cool way of also documenting my life and my growth. Like one day my kids could see this, which is pretty cool. So I'll write down, and again, I write until I feel grateful. A lot of people just write, man. You're just writing it. Oh, I'm grateful it's hot outside. Oh, I'm grateful for my making a sale last week. Like, it's just so mindless. Like, guys, mastery is in depth, not in width, right? You got to go deeper into things. You can't just sit there and like do surface level stuff, because then you're no different than a dabbler in everything. Mastery is where leadership lies. People want to follow you because you've mastered something. You've gone so deep, you actually know everything encompasses it. So I like to sit there and like I write out like until I feel grateful. And if I don't feel it, I keep going until I go, what do I really feel grateful for right now? Like, what am I actually happy about? And then I would like wait until I feel like a joyful thing in my stomach. I'm like, oh man, that's good. And I write it down. I'm so grateful yesterday I had all this fun with these people, and I met this thing, or I learned this thing, or it's usually, it's by the way, it's stopped becoming about sales and money. It's starting to become more about my growth and my realizations and my breakthroughs. I'm like, whoa, yesterday I learned something about myself, blah, blah, blah. And like, I love it. And so I could go back and read. So that's what I do right after. Once I'm done that, I literally I have a JBL speaker. If you guys don't do this, I feel bad for you. If you don't do what I'm about to say, like, I really feel bad for you. Like, you live a boring life if you don't do this. I'm being serious. I grab a JBL speaker, I turn it on, and I blast music. Some of you guys are like, I can't do that, I have kids. Get them to learn how to wake up with music, man. Music is a natural mind stimulant. Like, it's actually one of the principles in Think and Grow Rich, others under sex transmutation. It's not about sex, by the way. It's about genius states, flow state, how to stimulate the mind into a higher vibration so you can actually receive million-dollar ideas from infinite intelligence. That's what sex transmutation, by the way, is. It's transmuting sex energy, which is the energy of a life, just so you know. It's not about actual sex. It's about transferring energy of sex, which is life, procreation, productivity, into your purpose. So music is one of the 10 mind stimulants that gets you in a higher vibration. So I play music, and I have a playlist called State Music. Puts me in state. And state is like when I'm dialed in and I want to just get into work. And so I play, it's like a combination, by the way. It's like some of the weekend songs, like some like cool songs, anything that gets me going. And I play this playlist as I go and shower. If I'm not showering, if it's a workout day, I'll go work out then. I'll play it in my ear and I'll go work out like today. If it's not a workout day, then I go shower right away so I can get ready for the day. And so I'll go into the shower and I'm like singing to the music. I'm like jumping up and down, having fun. I'm like making moves. And I learned this from Tony Robbins like 6 years ago. I still do. I'm like, yes, and like I'm in the shower and I'm feeling good. Every time I do that, I'm like feeling so alive. My whole body's feeling good. And I'm getting chills across my spine. Even right now, I'm getting chills. And this music's blasting. I'm singing at the top of my lungs. And even if I sound like shit, I'll still sing at the top of my lungs. And I'll just get I'm going to start expressing my soul, expressing my spirit. And I feel so alive. And it's like, that's the energy I bring to my business. That's the energy I bring to the first meeting. That's the energy I bring to my clients. That's the energy I bring to, my content. That energy. Now, if you guys don't have any of the energy, imagine you're going out online or in your business and you're like, hey guys, let's kind of like Squidwarding it, That's literally a thing. You guys Squidward your business. That's why it dies. Like, no one wants to be like Squidward. No one wants to hang around Squidward other than SpongeBob. And it's only because SpongeBob has no friends. So if you think about it, you got to be more like, a SpongeBob. Everything's like, yeah, And like, that's what I do. It's like the SpongeBob SquarePants method. So I'm in the shower, I'm playing this music, and I wash my hair first and wash my body after. So here's the secret, right? A lot of people think I'm crazy for this. I never take a regular shower. Like, what I mean by that is like, I don't just shower and like sit there and get it done like it's mindless. I use that shower as an opportunity to like infuse my body in body emotion, right? So it feels so good, like water on your face, water in your hair. I love this stuff. Sometimes I'll sit back and I'll watch the water bounce on my hand. I just get really present in the shower. Like, I'll watch the water bouncing on my hand. Like, I'm so here. I don't think. I'm just there with me. The water. And it's so crazy. Sometimes you guys look at your hand. There's some things you don't even notice. So I just get really present. I see the water. And then I start to say these, we call them the shower affirmations. While I'm washing myself, I say something out loud to myself. I say, I'm strong. I'm able. I'm calm. I'm fit. I'm muscular. I'm sexy. The reason, by the way, why that's in there is nothing egotistically at all. Years ago, I was not really comfortable in my body. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to say that so I can focus on what I want. And so I would say that. I'm like, I'm strong, I'm muscular, I'm sexy. I'm like, I have the body of a Greek god. I would get so exaggerated. I'm like, I'm lean, chiseled, and strong. And like, I'd close my eyes and washing my hair. I'm like, feel it. I would really try to embody what that would be like. Because if you don't know what your goals feel like, you'll never know what it actually feel like. That's a deep one too. And so then I'm gonna say, I'm healthy, I'm vibrant, I'm energized, I'm inspired, I'm motivated, I'm driven, and I'm consistent, I'm persistent, and I'm disciplined. And I would say this to myself over and I would just say it over and over. Where did I get this idea, by the way? 5 years ago, I read a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And guys, this is why I'm saying I go deep into books. And you guys got to have more intention behind what you do because they'll stick with you. I read this book 5 years ago, guys. And in the book, I still remember that there was a scene where the monk's sitting on the bench with the rich man who sold the Ferrari. And he goes, how do I change my life? And the monk says, every day, repeat this to yourself 300 times out loud. I'm strong, I'm able, I'm calm. That's all he said. I'm strong, I'm able, I'm strong, I'm able, I'm calm. 300 times a day. He started doing this every day. And eventually over the months of doing it, he started to embody this. His body started to change, his face started to change. He started to change. I think it's a fiction story. Like it's not real, but my point is I got that idea on my because the monk was talking about like how the mind will absorb what you say to yourself. So I'm like, okay, so every day I would start saying that to myself and I would try to count to 300 times. I don't do it 300 times a day, but I took that concept from my book 5 years ago and I do it in the shower. I've been doing that shower thing for 5 years, where I just say things to myself every day. So every day that passed by, sometimes I'll miss it if I'm really tired, if I had a bad night before, like I'm human, but almost every morning. And then as I'm doing it, I'm like, yes. Like I feel good, like I'm pumping myself up, music's playing, I'm energetic, I'm stimulating my mind and spirit to wake up. Most people miss this and their whole day looks like this. And specifically because they don't stimulate their mind right off the bat in their heart. So then once I'm ready to kind of leave the shower, I finish off with a cold shower. I'm in Florida right now, I'm in Miami and water isn't that cold here. So it feels like a light, kiss of a cold water. So when I was in Canada, like our pipes would be freezing. So I would literally go numb after a minute of being underwater. That's kind of cold shower you want to take. And so what I do before I hop into the cold shower, I end my shower cold. And this is for the practice of getting myself out of my comfort zone. So I train my mind to say, when I say I'm going to do something, whether it feels good or not, whether not feels good, I'm not talking about your joy. I'm talking about when it feels comfortable or not. I'm going to do it anyways. And this is the kind of skill and muscle I built emotionally to make risky decisions in my business and things that have literally grown us over time. We did 650 grand in a month last year. That doesn't come from safe thinking. It doesn't come from risk averse thinking. It comes from getting out of your comfort zone, pushing yourself beyond what you're able. And you can't do that if you're not comfortable being uncomfortable. So I say this to myself right before I get on the cold shower. I turn it cold. I can put my hand under. It's like freezing. I'm like an athlete. I'm ready to go into a fight. And so I'm jumping. And as I'm bouncing, I'm telling myself, I now command the cells of my body to transmute this water into my skin and turn it into pure energy, turn it into passion, turn it into love, turn it into strength and certainty, creative thinking, innovation, turn it into blissfulness and joy, compassion and love and fun, and turn it into complete discipline and self-control so that I can crush my goals today and overcome anything that gets in my way. And then I say, I now command my mind, body, and soul to align. I literally I'm really cinematic in the shower. So I'll actually do this and look at my two hands lining up. And I'll focus my mind like a monk, I now command my mind, body, soul to align to help me crush my goals today. So that I start listing all the things I'm doing in the day so that I can set the intention to how I want it done. So that I can have an amazing team morning meeting today. So that I can have the most amazing coaching call with my clients and break through everybody who's on it. So that we close tons more sales, book more calls today in our organic strategies. I start saying all this stuff to myself and I'm so I have so much blissfulness. I glide through the day effortlessly and have an amazing night and I eat healthy. I'll set my intention. And then I go, because God's wealth circulates in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my needs, desires, and goals are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence, for I'm one with God and God is everything. And then I tell myself, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm strong, and I'm fit. I'm successful and I'm happy because I don't quit. As I'm jumping, my heart's racing, right? I'm jumping and I'm getting ready to go into the cold shower. And my heart's pumping, blood's flowing, I'm feeling alive. A lot of you guys don't feel alive because you don't move yourself, you don't say anything, you don't do anything to feel alive. And you're like, I want to build $1 million business. $1 million business requires an energetic CEO, somebody with passion and energy and to put into it. There needs to be an input for an output to come out. So if you want more out of life, you got to give more into life. You can't just expect more without an input. It's like, I want the bank teller to give me $100 back, but I just want to give $10. That's not how it works. You want change, you got to give them what you give, what you get. So then I tell myself, right when I go into the shower, right before I do it, I go, because I do things people can't do. That's why I'm successful. I do things people won't do. That's why I'm successful. What am I telling myself? I've been telling myself this for years. I literally condition myself to say that I'm going to do what others won't do. I'll go against the crowd, and I'll always do things what people are not willing to do because I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And so I train my mind. Hey, we're different. Like, we're not like the rest. We're going to do the things no one's willing to do, and they can't even think they could do it. But that's why we're going to be successful. And I'm like, that's why I'm a 25-year-old millionaire. And it's funny because before I would tell myself that's why I'm going to become a millionaire by 25, because that was my ultimate, big first milestone in life. And I hit it. And now I'm like, that's why I'm a millionaire, baby. Come on. Because I earned this shit, man. Every single day I'm putting in the work, I'm depositing in my mental bank. And then I go into the water, freezing cold. And I aim to put the cold water in all the uncomfortable places first, like my ears, my neck. A lot of people will go in and put their back on it because it's easier. I'm going to go for the most uncomfortable thing. And as I'm doing it, I go, because comfort is my enemy. Contentment is my friend, but discomfort is my growth. Discomfort is my power. Discomfort is where I grow. I've been doing this, guys, for years now. A lot of you are looking at me like, oh, that explains a lot. How you're moving so quickly and things are happening so much. Yeah, there's a lot of inner game work I'm playing before you guys see the outer game work that we're doing, right? And so that's really the secret for my 7-figure morning routine. I really hope it helps you guys. But if you have any questions, you can put in the comments. If you guys are looking to get help in your business, don't be afraid to book a call. My team and I are always willing to talk to new people. We're looking for leaders that we can help scale their message around the world. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you like this kind of content, we drop content every single week, not just this, but more stuff as well. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we drop new videos. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I will see you again soon. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.